I do not see Miss Evans or Miss Lee. I see Miss Murphy. I see Mr. Rutherford. I see Ms. Sepulveda, Mr. Sledge, Ms. Stiles, me, Mr. Foley's next door. All right, we do have a quorum. Rules, confirmations, and public elections. I have a consent agenda. I'm going to read through them. If anyone wants to pull anything off, I will give you that opportunity after I read through these. RS 2025-88, Toombs, Johnston, Hancock, and others. Accepts the grant from the Center for Tech and Civic Life to the Davidson County Election Commission to provide planning and operationalizing of a safe and secure election administration in Davidson County in 2020. RS 2020-600, Toombs, Syracuse, and others. Expresses the opposition of the Metro Council to the proposed charter amendment submitted by petition and conditionally scheduled for referendum election on December 15th, 2020. RS 2020-602, Hurt, Withers, and others. Honors the life of former council member Tony Tenpenny. RS 2020-603, recognizes Council Lady Murphy, recognizes Abe's Gardens feature as a case study in Alzheimer's disease, International's World Alzheimer Report 2020. RS 2020-604, Sledge and Bradford, celebrates the 75th anniversary of the Adventure Science Center. RS 2020-605, Syracuse, Mendez, and others, recognizes Holy Rosary Academy for being named a 2020 Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education for the second time. RS 2020-606, Young, Murphy, and others, recognizes 2020 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I do have a letter to approve from Councilman Young. And does anybody need to pull anything off of consent? Motion made, properly seconded. All in favor? Any against? Any not voting? Thank you. Moving on to late filed items. Ms. Toombs, resolution accepting 6 donations from the Tennessee Highland Rim Healthcare Coalition to the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Nashville Fire Department. Is Ms. Toombs? There is not a co-sponsor. Would any? Okay. Perfect. Does anyone have any discussion?
I can get an explanation.
Okay, perfect.
Basically, the paperwork came in late, and if they don't get it done this time, they won't be able to get the money spent by the end of November, which is the deadline. And so Chief Swan called and asked if we could do it late, and I told him that shouldn't be a problem. Sure,
perfect. Does anyone have any opposition to that late filed resolution? Perfect. Anyone not want to vote? Awesome. The next one is Johnson Gamble Parker, unnumbered. It amends RS 2020-478, 500, 515, 516 to extend the deadline for disbursements of CARES funds to December 28th, 2020, with return of these funds to the Metropolitan Government on or before December 30th, 2020, and extending the deadline of the committee's final report to the Metro Council. I can speak to this. We initially allocated money to have to be dispersed by November the 15th. And then returned back, and we've decided that that's not enough time, and we were able to give these organizations more time to disperse to more individuals and organizations to support them in their time of need, with the understanding that on December the 31st, that money would come back to us, or December 30th, it would come back to us. And so that's all it is. It's just extending that funding to different people. And it's an emergency because the next meeting would be November the whatever day, and it's too close to that deadline. So it gives them enough time to kind of change their course of action. Does anybody have any objection to that late filed motion? Perfect. Okay, elections and confirmations. There was someone, Director Cooper, that I think I was supposed to do over the phone.
Although,
was IT aware? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just start. And you said that was which one? Jessica Powell. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to do a consent agenda on this too, just like I did last time, just because we have so many. Ms. Fatima Ali, is she present? Ms. Waits, I believe that is she one that we have to approve, or she's automatically approved, or we have to take action, correct? Okay, perfect. Perfect.
We interviewed previously.
Not a big deal?
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Ms. Ali, hi, how are you? Good, thank you for coming to see us. So you are being appointed to fulfill the unexpired term of Ms. Berthina Naba McKinney for the Action Commission for a term expiring February 2nd, 2023. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to take a few minutes or 2 minutes just to say why you'd like to serve in this capacity.
Awesome, thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. My name is Fatima Ali. I am honored to be nominated to join MAC. I first of all, personally, I like to be a resource person. I like to improve people's well-being, and to family, friends, and community members, I'm usually one who links people up with resources they need and just help out. And professionally, as a healthcare case manager and health coach, that's what I do in a nutshell. My educational background in development, economics, and public health places me at a unique position to understanding ways to alleviate poverty by improving standards of living. So I understand that education and essential resources are ways to do that. And MAC does just that. And so I think I'm in the right place to help Nashville's population. And I'm glad to be of service.
I don't have any objection to this appointment? Perfect. She will remain on consent. Thank you so much for coming to see us. Ms. Gigi Drumright. Hi. Can you come in front of the camera so we can see you and hear you? So this is for an appointment to the Agricultural Extension Board for a term expiring August 1st, 2023. Would you like to tell us why you'd like to serve in this? This is true. Sylvia Gagne, is that her, did I say it right? Gagne. You were in Louisiana, that'd be Gagne. Just want you to know. Do you want to come up too so I'll interview both at the same time? Both of them are appointments. No, they're both appointments, it says. August 1st, 2023. This is what it says on, you are, so this is incorrect. Okay. Krajik?
Yes.
All right. So do you all want to come up? Yes, everybody for the Agricultural Extension Board. Who else is reappointed? Because the agenda is wrong.
This one, right there.
Mm.
It's on there, I think.
Aha, perfect. This is what I'm going to use from now on. Okay. Still want to start with Ms. Drumright, please. So if you just tell us just a minute or two on why you'd like to serve.
Well, I live in a rural part of Davidson County, northwest Davidson County, and I don't think a lot of people know what all we do out there. We do a lot of agriculture, and I'm a beekeeper, plus we do sorghum and we do maple syrup. And we're already pretty active in the community to invite the community out to see what we do and teach them how to do sorghum and beekeeping and whatever. So I'm a medical technologist full-time, but I do that part-time, but my husband's full-time farmer. And we have cattle and peacocks and everything. And I hope I can add to the committee. I hope I can do some good based on what I know and my experience.
And actually, since we're taking this every single one of these on consent, it doesn't matter to me, it doesn't matter the order in which someone speaks. So, Ms. Ganier, there she is. Nope, there you are. Would you like to speak about why you'd like to serve in this capacity?
Are we gonna have time to ask some questions?
If you'd like, sure.
So as a farmer myself and an agriculture educator, I am delighted to be asked to serve for a reappointment to the Agricultural Extension Board. In the past months, we have certainly seen what supply chain issues with farming and the lack of education can bring. We also have seen the value of our wonderful institutions such as Tennessee State University, for agriculture, Vanderbilt through nutrition services and needing more local food, and numerous others. UT, of course, is always a wonderful assistance to those farmers. And I believe that being asked to serve will allow me to bring skills and hopefully a little bit of enlightenment from having boots on the ground in the farming industry to be able to assist in making our community a better and healthier place because we are supporting agriculture in Davidson County.
So much. Does anyone have any questions?
Can you tell me, in your conversation and the disruption of the food supply chain this year, just one item that perhaps is a solution you all have discussed?
From the Agricultural Extension Board in the past? Yes. We have talked about making sure that if funding is available, that those resources are disseminated out and through the agents for the Extension Board, and making sure that the agents are able to find the resources to help. Secondarily, I think it has also been invaluable the amount of education classes for home canning and preserving, which is a huge part of the 4-H and community education that the Ag Extension Board works on. We all know if you try to go out and find a ball mason jar right now and anywhere in the country, you're not going to find one. And the ability to bring that information to citizens of all economic levels has been imperative in the past months.
Very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Thank you. And I'll just go ahead. This is for all of the appointments and reappointments. And since we have a limited time, it's something that we can discuss offline. But those of y'all being reappointed know that I care about our 4-Hers and our FFAers and the whatever is going on with the state fair. And if it is leaving us, the ability of our Ag Extension Board to step up, because it is important that we continue to have a fair. I've been concerned for years that our Davidson County children and all, high schoolers on up, they are not getting the competition experience that other counties get when they go to the state fair, because we don't have that county fair experience. While it works out great for me as a home sewer and a seamstress, it gives me less competition, right? But it also, on the flip side, less opportunity to win ribbons. Putting my own ribbon winning aside, or lack thereof, if the fair does leave us, I hope there are conversations going on and would love to have the council engaged on what does that look like moving forward. How can we make sure that our children are still getting the same opportunities that others are across the state? Because I don't think I think we're still lacking in that area. And I think we as a council need to hear from y'all as to what we need to give you resource-wise to make that happen. If the state fair does truly move on, what fills that gap? So just kind of a general statement for all of y'all. And I know you've heard my soapbox before, so I'll just leave it at that for the rest of you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in to see us. Appreciate it. The reappointment of Mr. Mark, I hope I don't mess up your last name, Kursky. Okay. Yep, I'll put it to the side. Mr. Phil, and I hope I don't mess up this name too. Mr. Philip Krajik. Is it right? All right. Your term would expire October 1st, 2023. Why would you like to serve?
Well, one, it's just an honor to be, included in this. I am the chef and owner of 2 restaurants here in Nashville, Rolf and Daughters and Folk. And the underlying mission of what we do at the restaurants is to connect our customers with agriculture from our region. And I see this as an extension of that ideology. We work very, very closely with a ton of farmers in staying connected with what our region can create and provide from the land. And then I'd just like to see, I'm very interested in growing outside of that and trying to bridge the idea of, local, sustainable, regenerative agriculture to more people and make it more accessible.
Does anybody have any questions? All right.
I will say that he's a District 8 resident and therefore super cool.
Whoop, whoop. District 8. Dr. Sanders Hunter. Hi, how are you? So you are, it's a reappointment for a term expiring August 1st, 2023. Just a couple of minutes on why you'd like to serve.
Well, I have served before, actually since 2012, and each time I have been approached in terms of my interest of having to serve again, I never said no. I said, yes, I'd be willing to do it. So I guess I'm the yes person, but I'll give you a little background myself. I retired from Tennessee State University and I left the Cooperative Extension Program. I served as program leader for Family and Consumer Sciences with this focus on basically strengthening individuals and families so that they could become more resilient in terms of the social and economic climates. So I brought to the university a grant, and it's known as Staff Ed now, but I was the one who wrote that grant, and it was funded, and it's carried on even today. So my focus is on the underserved and limited resource individuals and families, and so part of my focus dealt with training and providing training to the county educators in terms of the enhancement of family strength and family unity. So I'm interested in serving on the board to see whether or not I can really be an asset and make a difference in terms of the policies that are made, the procedures that are carried out. So that's my spiel on it.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming to see us. Miss Sherry Smith. You're also a reappointment for a term expiring August 1st, 2023. Just a couple minutes on why you'd like to serve.
Yes. I think it's a very honorable privilege to be able to serve on the Ag Board. I'm in the medical field full-time, moonlight at Kroger. Please use ClickList, people, for your free pickup and delivery. But then I also raise Black Angus cattle. So here in Davidson County, which is rather unusual for Davidson County to be able to find cattle in our county city limits here, unless they get loose. And I agree with the young lady, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, to bring back our state fair and the opportunity for these young children to see cattle and show horses and show goats. And I grew up Opryland and worked in the petting zoo for several years. And children are so fascinated with animals that they don't get to touch every day. Dogs and cats, yes, but other animals that they may be exposed to and then find their path, hopefully, maybe in the agriculture, going to UT or Tennessee State and see all the opportunities available to them today.
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you so much for coming in to see us. You've got too many District 8s on the Ag Board. All right, did we get in touch with Mr. Mark Kursky? Okay, all right, well, we'll keep him to the side and come back if he, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission, a reappointment of Ms. Gina Emmanuel. Ms. Emmanuel, hi. Your term would expire September 17th, 2025. Just a couple minutes on why you'd like to continue to serve.
Yes, it's been wonderful serving on that commission. I think Nashville has a long way to go in affordable housing, and I think we've made a lot of progress in the last several years that I've been on the commission on how we as a commission can really help toward that goal. So my background, I'm an architect, and I work with a lot of nonprofit and for-profit developers, so I feel like I can bring a lot of experience from what I'm seeing on the forefront, from a zoning standpoint, and see if there's different ways that we can look at affordable housing in Nashville.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
But in my vote of confidence.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to see us tonight. Appreciate it. Tourism and Convention Commission, reappointment of Ms. Shannon Sanders, Mr. Shannon Sanders, I'm sorry. Hello. How are you this evening?
Awesome, how are you?
We're living the dream.
No doubt.
And it's on why you'd like to continue to serve.
How would I like to continue to serve? You know, I say this a lot, but authenticity is everything. I feel like I bring something unique to that board, and I enjoy doing so. I have great relationships that I formed on that board. We've been able to get some great things done. We've moved the needle a lot, and I just want to continue moving the needle for our great city.
Thank you so much, and we'll need you guys in the next year or two or beyond.
Yeah.
So we can rebound as quickly as we possibly can.
We have to stage to get back.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions?
Comment, however, Chair, and say that Mr. Sanders is an amazing individual and a strong contributor within the music community. He's actually been president of the Grammy chapter here. And so in terms of conventions and tourism, he has his finger on the pulse of what is needed for the city. So it'd be great to have him reappointed.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming to see us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Transportation Licensing Commission, the reappointment of Ms. Sue Palmer. Is Ms. Sue Palmer here? Okay. Thank you. Did we get in touch with Ms. Jessica Powell? Okay. Perfect. If Ms. Warren will come in then. Hi, Ms. Warren. You are up for reappointment for a term expiring October 10th, 2022. Just a couple minutes on why you'd like to continue to serve.
I find it's an easy and great way to give back to the community. This is the second board that I've served on. And again, it's just a great way to give back to the community. Nashville's been very good to me, so it's a nice way to give back.
So much. Does anyone have any questions?
What has drawn you particularly for transportation? What has drawn you to this committee in particular?
Oh, I was teasing Billy earlier. One of the main reasons is I like working with Billy. I've worked with them on a lot of different community events as well, but you know, it's been interesting to learn a little bit more about the transportation and just all the ins and outs of it. Part of what I do for a living, or at least when COVID isn't happening, is event management. And I do a lot of ground transportation work on some of those events. So it's been very interesting to learn more about this side of the ground transportation companies and what they go through, and the safety protocols as well. So it actually gives me a little comfort knowing what all they have to go through and what Metro demands of them in order to conduct business. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? Thank you so much for coming in to see us. All right. Do we have Ms. Powell?
Yes.
1 minute.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you this evening?
I'm good. I will warn you that I am dealing with a toddler who is expressing himself freely right now. So he's just crying in the background. You've been forewarned.
Well, thank you so much. There he is. So this is Council Lady Johnston. So you're here with the election committee. And so we are just giving you an opportunity to let us know why you would like to continue to serve on the Transportation Licensing Commission.
You know, I moved to Nashville in 2008, and this city has given me so much. More than I could ever have even dreamed or imagined. And so I see this as a way of giving back to a city that has given me more than, like I said, I ever could have imagined.
Thank you for that. Does anyone in the committee have a question for Ms. Powell?
Yes. Ms. Powell, again, why are you drawn to this particular commission?
I would say I'm drawn to this particular commission because transportation is a big issue in Nashville. And so not only is transportation a big issue in Nashville, tourism is a big issue in Nashville. And so this is kind of the nexus of both of those things. We deal with the horse and carriage rides, which is, again, both transportation and tourism, and lots of other various different issues that are at the medium of transportation and tourism, which are two very important issues within the city. And again, this is a city that has really given me much more than I ever could have imagined or anticipated when I moved here over a decade ago.
Thank you very much.
Does anyone else have any questions? All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Powell, for joining us over the phone, and go take care of your toddler.
Okay, thank you very much. It's dinner time. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Okay. So I'm going to read through these just for the record, so that because we're doing everything on consent, except I guess since we haven't gotten in touch with Mr. Kursky, moved one meeting deferral. All right. Is it
That deferral, and I'll move for a withdrawal of Ms. Palmer.
Can I get a second? Second. Thank you. All in favor of that withdrawal and one meeting deferral? Any opposed? Any not voting? Thank you. All right. So Action Commission appointment of Ms. Fatima Ali for a term expiring February 2nd, 2023. The Ag Board appointment of Ms. Gigi Drumright. Reappointment of Ms. Sylvia Ganier, reappointment of, the appointment of Mr. Philip Krajik, the reappointment of Dr. Sanders Hunter, and reappointment of Ms. Sherry Smith, all for a term expiring August 1st, 2023. The Metro Housing Trust Fund Commission, the reappointment of Ms. Gina Emmanuel for a term expiring September 17th, 2025. Tourism and Convention Commission, the reappointment of Mr. Shannon Sanders for a term expiring June 30th, 2023. And the Transportation Licensing Commission, reappointment of Ms. Jessica Powell and the reappointment of Ms. Mona Lisa Warren for both for a term expiring October 10th, 2022. Can I get a motion? Properly seconded, and all in favor? Any opposed? Any not voting? Perfect. Thank you so much. And last item on the agenda is a proposed rules change by Council Lady Henderson. She moves to amend the 2019 to 2023 Metropolitan Council Rules of Procedure by adding the following provision as a new paragraph to Rule 9, which states any substitute resolution or ordinance offered by the primary sponsor shall automatically include the same co-sponsors and in the same order of co-sponsorship as the original legislation, unless an individual co-sponsor submits a written request to the Metro Council office prior to consideration by the council of the substitute, indicating they do not wish to be listed as a co-sponsor of the substitute. Can I get a motion? And properly seconded. Council Lady Henderson's not here, is she? Okay, is anyone willing? Okay, perfect. Would you like to speak to it?
Sure. I think that this is a good move in a direction where a lot of times, at least hopefully with our new system, things will be different. But in the past, when we've had legislation and there have been tweaks or there needed to be a substitute, and a lot of us have already co-sponsored, it's very tedious to have to track everyone down to re-sign on to a bill that we want to continue to support, but then we'll find out, well, you've got to come and do it in person. The clerk often will tell us that they have some staffing issues and having them have to pull all of that paper copy. I think this will save a lot of time and energy on everybody's part. And again, at the end of the day, if something goes wrong with it, we can always pull this back. But I think at least from speaking as a 5-year council member, this would be very helpful moving forward and eliminating a lot of frustration on the council and on the clerk's part.
Perfect. Councilman Boyd.
I guess this would be probably a question for Mr. Cooper. Is an email sufficient to satisfy the written instrument? Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Ready to vote? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? We've got more people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, perfect. Now voting, and that is it. We are adjourned. Thank you.